Hello, and welcome to the California Department of Social Services CalCard Online Training Module. My name is Faisal Aziz, and I am the Purchasing and CalCard Unit Manager. All of the information presented today is available online on our How to CalCard intranet page. Some very important housekeeping items that must be noted before we begin. The CalCard is a payment mechanism only. The use of your CalCard will aid you with your day-to-day procurement responsibilities. CalCard does not relieve the department from adhering to all procurement laws, regulations, policies, procedures, and best practices. Therefore, some transactions will require that a purchase order, standard 65 document, be issued after payment is made. These types of transactions will include buying from vendors who have a contract agreement with the state. For example, statewide mandatory contracts, CMAS contracts, WISCA, etc. Contact your assigned buyer in the purchasing unit for assistance with these orders. Training outcomes. By the end of this training, you will be able to use the CalCard with the demonstrated knowledge of the state and departmental policies and procedures. Have the ability to compile the required documentation to support the purchase with the information request for quote Gen 1387 process. Understand how to complete and submit your monthly CalCard bank statement. Here are some training modules that you can do on your own at your desk. You may access training at the U.S. Bank website and at the DGS CalCard Purchase Card Program websites at the links below. Here are the screenshots of what the web pages should look like. This is the U.S. Bank web-based training. This is the Department of General Services Procurement Division website. You can find the Emergency Acquisitions Guide at the following hyperlink. You may also find the CDSS CalCard Procedure Handbook at the hyperlink below. Both of these hyperlinks are available on our How To intranet page for CalCard. Setting up your CalCard account. Here are the instructions to set up your U.S. Bank CalCard account online. The directions are self-explanatory and similar to registering your own credit card. Approvers will be designated a special ID given to them by the CalCard administrator and will be able to access and view accounts under them only with that special approver ID. You will be able to download statement and view activity of your cardholder by searching their name. Here are the very important cardholder responsibilities. It is the cardholder's responsibility to sign and maintain the security of the CalCard to prevent any unauthorized charges. Cardholders are reminded to use small business, disabled veterans business enterprise vendors when possible, and to purchase items that are recycled and that carry the Energy Star label. These are requirements set by DGS and are reportable at the end of the year. It is a cardholder's responsibility to ensure that the CalCard is used for official state business only and that it is used properly within the designated dollar limits. The CalCard holder is the sole user. The card is not to be shared with anyone. The cardholder is responsible to document all purchases and to ensure that all relevant documents are kept in order and in a safe location. The cardholder is required to create a CalCard documentation file to ensure all relevant documents are kept and in order. Cardholders must keep detailed records that document the use of their CalCard. They must ensure that their purchases are in compliance with DGS Procurement Division and CDSS procurement policies and procedures. The cardholder will use the fair and reasonable justification when making any and all purchases. you are required, when feasible, to get 2 quotes for the total dollar value of over $100, not including tax and shipping and handling. The cardholder will attempt to utilize small business DVBE vendors, and the information will be submitted as documentation with the CalCard packages. Cardholders must report fraud, lost or stolen cards immediately to U.S. Bank's Fraud Department at 1-800-523-9078. U.S. Bank's customer service can be reached at 1-800-344-5696. If an unauthorized purchase is made by mistake, cardholders will be asked to reimburse CDSS via personal check. This recently happened when someone bought Lysol disinfectant spray for the office. How to determine fair and reasonable. In accordance with Government Code 14838.5C, if the estimated value of a transaction is under $5,000, buyers shall obtain at least 2 price quotations from responsible suppliers whenever there is reason to believe a response from a single source is not fair and reasonable price. Provided below are 5 techniques that a buyer may use to determine whether or not a supplier's price can be determined to be fair and reasonable. Here are 5 methods to help determine fair and reasonable. When evaluating fair and reasonable pricing using price comparisons, catalog market price, and/or historical pricing, buyers must base the comparisons on identical situations or those with small variations which do not affect pricing. All cardholders must use small business DVBEs when possible. You can find the vendor list at the BidSync website below. Here is a screenshot of the Small Business DVBE certification search page. To start your search, you must enter a business name and ID number if known. You will be able to determine the certification type, if any. You will also be able to compile a list of small businesses DVBEs by entering the appropriate information as described in the next slide. This is the detailed instructions on conducting a customized small business DVBE search. Here is a screenshot of the page. And here's an example of what the results page should look like. This is the specific vendor information that you will print and place with the file folder and with the CalCard package for submission. Utilizing small business DVBEs ensures our department is in compliance with end-of-year reporting requirements. Failure to meet the small business DVBE requirements will result in sanctions by the Purchasing Authority Unit at the Department of General Services Procurement Division. Remember that awards will be based on fair and reasonable. Price comparisons are not to include taxes, as tax rates vary throughout the state. Using your CalCard. The CalCard is a payment mechanism only that will aid you with day-to-day procurement responsibilities. Remember, utilizing the CalCard does not relieve our department from adhering to all procurement laws, regulations, policies, procedures, and best practices. Therefore, some transactions will require that a purchase order standard 65 document be issued after a payment is made. These types of transactions will include buying from vendors who have a contract agreement with the state, statewide contracts, CMAS contracts, and WSCA, etc. Contact your assigned buyer in the purchasing unit for assistance with these orders. The primary use for the CDSS CalCard is to procure office supplies. Cardholders will use the Request for Quote Gen 1387 to request quotes from selected vendors. It is your responsibility to ensure your quotes and purchases stay within your single purchase limit and your total monthly limit. Every effort shall be made to obtain quotes from 2 or more certified small businesses or disabled veterans business enterprise vendors. Cardholders and approvers are reminded to be good stewards of taxpayers' money and to negotiate costs to meet fair and reasonable criteria. Any single purchase over $2,500 requires a follow-up with the AA18 requisition to purchase completed, forwarded to the purchasing unit to generate a standard 65, noting that CalCard was a method of payment as required by the Department of General Services. Most cardholders do not have single purchase limits over $1,000. If there is a justifiable business reason to raise your single purchase limit, please contact the CalCard administrator. All other office supply purchases will be required to use the Request for Quote RFQ Gen 1387 process in the upcoming slides after the AA18 requisition to purchase. Here is the AA18 requisition to purchase that we are all accustomed to completing. Please note that it does require a bureau chief or above to sign off. Here is the second page used to document quotes and totals. The AA18 will only be used for purchases over $2,500 or those on a mandatory statewide contract, CMAS, WISCA, etc. Please contact a purchasing unit analyst for confirmation. The AA18 will be submitted to the purchasing unit. You will retain a copy for your files. This form will be used to request all equipment, furniture, and supplies. Submit a separate requisition for each of these categories as needed, and please consult with your designated purchasing unit analyst to confirm. You will provide a complete description of the items, including brand, model, type, color, size, and product code number with the price and vendor name. The form must be approved by the CalCard approver prior to submittal. Attached, you will find the RFQ form Gen 1387. Here is the checklist that must be marked and completed. This page is to be partially completed by the cardholder and submitted to the vendor for completion. This page is to be partially completed by the cardholder with specific item description and, if possible, the exact stock part number. The form will then be finalized by the vendor with the price and other pertinent information added and completed. The Gen 1387 Request for Quote form is required for all quotes over $100. The quotes must preferably be from a certified small business, micro business, disabled veterans business enterprise. The RFQ form will ensure quality control in ensuring the program requests for quotes on exact same items and contain the required terms and conditions. The RFQ form has active hyperlinks to required bidder instructions, general provisions, and the payee data record, and the Cal Recycle Form 74. The Form W9 cannot be accepted. It is cardholder and program's responsibility to use small business DVBE vendors and to purchase items that meet the recycle requirements mandated by law. Whenever possible, CDSS must purchase items that are recycled or that carry the Energy Star label. The Post-Consumer Content Certification Form 74 provided by Cal Recycle allows for tracking of these items. Each year, our department submits an annual recycle report ensuring that we meet the requirements. Cardholders may use email or fax to obtain quotes from a vendor. Award will be based on fair and reasonable cost comparison, not to include any taxes, as tax rates vary from different locations in California. When evaluating fair and reasonable pricing, buyers must base the comparison on identical items, situations with small variations that do not affect pricing. Cardholders must award to the lowest quote. Forward the RFQ to your approver for pre-approval and signature prior to using the CalCard. All items must be listed on the RFQ and approved by a supervisor or above prior to purchase. Here are the steps to complete the Gen 1387 form. Assign an RFQ number and due date. Include the CDSS contact information and the ship to address. List the quantity, unit, stock number, and item descriptions. Email or fax checklist and completed RFQ form to the selected vendors. Print the email for documentation to be placed in your procurement file. Please document any conversations or questions from vendors and your responses for your procurement file. The vendor will complete all the required information: their contact information, the date of the RFQ submission, their SB DVBE numbers and certification. The vendors will complete and enter the unit price, tax rate, and submit a standard 204 payee data record. Vendors will also be required to submit a CalRecycle Form 74 if applicable. They will then email or fax the completed forms back to the CDSS contact person. Program will review the RFQ for completeness and request any documents not submitted by the vendor. Program will select the vendor, attach all RFQs including checklist, and any additional backup documentation, waiver, picture, specifications, etc. The vendor will be selected based on fair and reasonable price comparison. Contact the selected vendor to place order, ship supplies. The approver must sign and date to acknowledge the purchase. Here are some important steps in preparing your CalCard package. Any package that does not meet the requirements set forth in this section will be sent back. Repeated offenses will result in temporarily disabling of the CalCard until the CalCard package is submitted correctly. The CalCard billing cycle, commonly referred to as Cycle 22, ends on the 22nd of each month. Your statement will reflect charges made from the 23rd of the previous month to the 22nd of the current month. If the 22nd falls on a weekend or a holiday, then the billing cycle will end on the first business day after the 22nd. This is important to know, as you will receive a paper statement at the end of each billing cycle. Your bank statement will also be available online for download exactly 1 day after the close of the billing cycle. You can access your statement at the access.usbank.com site. The CalCard bank statement serves as a procurement file document and must include all state acquisition required backup documentation. Cardholders will verify all purchases made on the bank statement are valid and received, and will reconcile your receipts with the statement. Cardholders will collect all required documentation to accompany the CalCard package, the CalCard package checklist, approved Gen 1387 or AA18, CalRecycle Form 47 if applicable, quotes, payee data record standard 204, approved itemized invoice, packing slip, any correspondence including emails and documented conversation exchanges, and the CalCard log Gen 1290. Here is a CalCard package checklist. It will assist you in submitting your CalCard package in the correct order. All of the required documentation can be found on our intranet under the How To CalCard page. Here is a slide of the actual Gen 1290 form. The purpose of the CalCard log is to track all items purchased as they appear on the CalCard bank statement and to indicate any disputed items. Any credited items should also be included. The cardholder's dated signature is certifying that all documents and receipts are attached. When submitting your statement, please make sure that the package is in the order below: the signed and dated bank statements by the cardholder and approver, CalCard packages signed by the approver, Attach all quotes in order the transactions are listed on the bank statement. Each package should be accompanied by quotes, invoices, standard 204s, and packing slips in the order noted. RFQ, request for quotes. Cardholders may have multiple quotes depending on the number of single transactions made. Cal Recycle Form 74, if applicable, all written correspondence and paid invoices of receipts. Packing slips or stock received documents signed and dated by the receiver, Payee Data Record Standard 204, CDSS Monthly CalCard Log Gen 1290 signed in blue ink by the cardholder and approver, CalCard Package Checklist. Remember to submit your CalCard package to your approver for final approval prior to distribution to the payables unit and purchasing unit. CalCard Approver Responsibilities. The approver is responsible for approving cardholder purchases and verifies that the purchases are made for official state business only. Each month, the approver reviews the RFQs, Gen 1387 or double 18s, quotes, and correspondence. The approver verifies that the cardholder was authorized to make purchases and checks for prohibited purchases on the CalCard statement. Approvers are also responsible for ensuring the CalCards are properly used under their authority. Approvers are to make no assumptions and beware of repetitive missing receipts and always investigate questionable purchases. Approvers are to review bank statements and ensure that receipts and supporting documentation are in proper order prior to submission to the payables unit in the Financial Services Bureau and the purchasing unit in the Contracts and Purchasing Bureau. Approvers are required to request new cards for permanent staff by email to the CalCard administrator with the new employee's name and program index code. Approvers are to also submit spending limit increases or decreases by email to the CalCard administrator, indicating the cardholder's name and the newly desired monthly spending limit. In the event a cardholder is absent, the approver must ensure all paperwork are processed in a timely manner and submitted for processing through final distribution. Make prior arrangements with the CalCard administrator for CalCard packages if the approver is out of office. Submitting the monthly statement. Remember, when submitting the original documents in the CalCard packages to the Financial Services Bureau Payables Unit, review the statement for accuracy, check for unauthorized or questionable purchases, obtain all valid and itemized receipts and invoices. Receipts and invoices must be itemized and show either a $0 balance or say paid with credit card or Visa. Packing slips are not considered valid receipts. Sign and date the bank statement in blue ink. Reminder to please review bank statements and ensure all valid itemized receipts are obtained, reconciled, and submitted to FSB Payables Unit as soon as possible. If the CalCard administrator in the Contracts and Purchasing Bureau has not received a copy of the CalCard package within 7 days after the cutoff date, cycle 22 of the new billing cycle, the cardholder's card may be put on hold until all such overdue CalCard packages are received. Remember, these are quality control measures that protect the department and taxpayer dollar from misuse. These measures are in place to provide compliance. Final distribution of the approved CalCard packages. Remember to make 2 photocopies. 1 photocopy for your records. The second photocopy is to be sent to the CalCard administrator at mail station 8-14-001. The original signed package is to be submitted directly to FSB, Accounts Payables Unit at mail station 9-5-84. The Payables Unit and the CalCard Administrator audit every package for compliance and will return the package if it is not complete. Continual non-compliance will result in disabling of the CalCard for the cardholder. No one wants to have their CalCard disabled and not available for use. The CalCard allows us to purchase items faster and more frequently. This saves time and space. Here are some important phone numbers for you to keep handy if you should have any problems or questions. This is a high-level flowchart that will assist you in utilizing the CalCard. All of the links and forms are available on our intranet How To CalCard page. Just click on the How To tab and type CalCard. Congratulations, you have completed your CalCard training. Please contact the CalCard administrator to take your test. You must score at least 80% or higher.